Hi, this is Paul with VisiCore, and today I want to walk you through the new features in version 1.1.0 of our GoatSearch utility that allows people to expose Cribl search results through a Splunk search dashboard. So we're going to jump right over here into our GoatSearch Explorer, and one of the first things we'll notice, well, you won't notice that yet until you've selected a tenant. One of the first things that we'll notice is that we now have an event preview down here at the bottom. So what that's going to allow us to do is for our selected data set, it is going to retrieve exactly one result within the last 5 minutes to let you know what data you're looking at to make sure that we've gotten the correct data set. Another feature that we've released is full rendering of the fields as they're extracted on the Cribl search side. So we can see in our preview here, if we expand this in Splunk, we can see that these fields roughly match up against the JSON here, which is what we would expect. Now let's select a data set that is not self-describing. So we're going to jump over here to the Cribl search sample, which is an S3 based data set, and we're going to wait for that event preview to come back. Still waiting for it. This is querying an S3 bucket. There we go. So this, you can see from this sample event that it is actually space delimited. And candidly, I have no idea what these numbers mean just looking at them. So let's go ahead and expand that and see what Cribl told us it meant. So we can see that this was an AWS VPC flow data type, and we can see that all of these seemingly random numbers right here are timestamps, they are ports, they are protocols, and they are versions. So this will allow us to use those fields in a Splunk search. Now I'm going to grab just the first part of this, and we are going to jump over here into a search bar, and we're going to show you another new feature, and that is the ability to retrieve a search by the search identifier in Cribl. So if I jump back over here and look at my history, and let's grab something that has a few results to it. We're going to grab this search ID and jump back over here. Now, instead of passing the query parameter, which would execute a new search, we are going to pass the, I thought I had that caps. We're going to pass the SID and retrieve results for a search that is already completed. And there we go. We can see that we had 531 events on this, and this was coming from the Cribl JSON type. And if we jump back over here, we should actually be able to see, yes, this first event is exactly that, the system RPC call. And we can see that we have 531 results for that. So just a way to more quickly reference search results, or maybe pass those downstream to different GoatSearch commands that may be on a dashboard if you have to invoke it more than one time. Speaking of invoking GoatSearch more than one time, if you have a dashboard that has multiple panels on it and it's not tuned such that those panels are using a post processor against a base search, you could very, very quickly overwhelm the Cribl search environment. And so what it will do is it will let you know that the queue is full and actually fail the search. So another feature that we've added into 1.1.0 is we allow, GoatSearch will actually retry a query up to 10 times with a 5-second pause between each instantiation, just in case you run into that situation where you hit those queue limits or you hit execution limits. Now we're looking at a dashboard right here that's a bit of a prototype. It is not included in GoatSearch, but just to show you an example of multiple panels, and all of this is actually powered off of a single GoatSearch. So you can see that this is looking at the health of a particular Cribl environment. It's looking for unhealthy inputs, unhealthy outputs. You can see a list of this here, but all of this is actually being powered by a single GoatSearch. Now, that's a production best practice. As we're developing it, of course, it's much, much faster to just build the search as you need it and then tune it later. And that's when we realized that we were actually overwhelming the queue on that. So again, it's a parameter that you can actually tune. So if we were to hit retry, and let's say we wanted to give it 20, at that point you can override the number of retries, but you cannot override that 5-second pause between each instantiation to give it some time to clear out. All right, so moving along, we have added a few roles to this to be able to better control security on the GoatSearch command. So we now have the capabilities GoatSearch admin, and we have the capability GoatSearch user that can be added to existing roles. GoatSearch admin will allow you to configure tenants and store those client secrets, whereas GoatSearch user will allow you to actually execute the GoatSearch command. If you already have this deployed, this may be a bit of a change, and you may need to add these roles depending on how, or these capabilities, excuse me, depending on how you had it set up. And if we just go back over here and refresh this guy, you can see that we actually have these as roles as well, if you want to include this as an inherited role. A couple other things that we did, we give you the ability, and I'm not going to demonstrate this because it's just going back to a search window. We gave you the ability to pass the earliest and the latest parameter in GoatSearch. Now keep in mind that GoatSearch, as it's written, will respect either the time range picker or the earliest latest parameters as configured in a safe search or as instantiated by a JavaScript search manager. But you can override all of that, just like you can with the Splunk search command, by explicitly passing earliest and latest to GoatSearch. Now it's worth keeping in mind that the earliest and latest that are passed as part of the GoatSearch command must be the KQL format. It must be the Cribl search format for earliest and latest. There are many, many similarities between the two, but there are some differences. So make sure that you're looking up the proper relative time modifier or relative time markers if you're sending a relative time. And if you're sending epic time, then, well, or if you're sending the keyword now, then of course it's going to respect that. So that is, and we fixed 5 bugs that were with it. Other things that it does better is it handles transforming commands that come off of the KQL. So think things like summarize, like project, top talkers, things that are going to aggregate the data and may not necessarily return a timestamp. So GoatSearch is going to better handle those now too. So we really appreciate those in the community that have reached out with bug reports and helped us make this better. And we look forward to presenting you with the next version of GoatSearch. So as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and we hope that you enjoy it. Happy goat searching.